Welcome to the Rooted Warriors, the podcast where the bonds of sisterhood are not just celebrated, but explored through laughter, tears, and everything in between. Join me and my two dearest friends as we dive deep into the roots of our own friendships, sharing stories and challenges. Whether you're looking for inspiration, advice, or just a good story, we're here to bring a piece of our sisterhood right into your life.
Well, hello, my little pretties. It's Kat here, lighting up your day and sparking up your speakers with yet another episode that's sure to awaken deep emotions and re-inspire your adventurous heart. It's that moment when the rooms might feel a little too quiet and our hearts a little too full of memories, of moments, and maybe a tear or two or 10. But here's the twist. While those empty rooms echo with the laughs and cries of days gone by, they also whisper promises of new beginnings and grand adventures. Are you feeling that? It's not just space, it's potential, it's freedom, it's a canvas waiting for bold new strokes of life.
Welcome, ladies.
Well, hello, my darling.
So today I have a very special guest here with me.
Yay.
We're very excited.
I know. She's going to bring a little bit of her humor and wit and some wisdom to our show. So help me in welcoming my beautiful mother-in-law, Terry.
Hello, Miss Terry.
Hi, ladies.
We're so excited.
I love being amongst you.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us today.
One of the best, for sure.
I feel humbled to have been asked to be here. Thank you, ladies.
Oh,
It's our pleasure.
Truly. Absolutely.
So checking in, how was everybody's week?
Miss Andy, how you doing?
Oh my gosh, I feel so good today, but I've got to tell you, I had food poisoning on Saturday.
No way.
We're
That's
talking
the worst.
sick every 10 minutes for 12 hours. Thought I was dying.
From what?
100%.
Do you know?
You know, I really thought it was food poisoning, but just a couple, maybe 24 to 48 hours later, Greg threw up one time and he swears that, I just overate. And I said, that's too coincidental. Something happened.
Yes.
We both either ate the same thing or we got some sort of virus. Yeah, something happened. But I feel much better. It was a
welcome back.
good weight loss program.
Yes. Send the flu my way.
I had salmonella poisoning when I was in Mexico one time.
It's possible. I was seriously that sick. I thought I was dying.
It was horrible.
Did you have to go to the hospital?
Well, it wasn't a thing. We went to some weird voodoo doctor in Santa Rosalia. It was funny because I got sick from an egg because I had eaten eggs that were, they had chickens and they fed me eggs and chorizo or whatever. And I was sick for almost a week.
Ouch.
And I'm the kind of person that once I start throwing up, I can't stop. So the funny thing is a week prior to that, my dad was telling me a story about his town, that there was this doctor, that there was a boy that was there that was a beautiful boy, so sweet, so smart, and this doctor medicated this boy and bad things happened, and this boy is now what appears like he has mental issues and is all messed up and he's kind of homeless. And so he told me this whole story and I see the guy there. He's like older than me at that time. So I'm like, oh God, that's a horrible, terrible story. And now my dad wants to take me to the town doctor. I'm like, I don't want to go to the doctor. I gotta go to I'm like 30. I'm like, I'm not going to that doctor. You can't pay me to go.
I've seen this horror film.
No, literally. So we go in there and we go into the actual office and the guy's telling my dad in Spanish, which for those that don't know, I do not speak Spanish. I understand, but I don't speak Spanish and I don't understand big words in English, let alone Spanish. Right? So I'm like, holy cow. So this guy's going on with my dad and he's talking about what medicine he's going to give me. I'm like trying to Google it, from Spanish to English, trying to figure out what I'm going to get. So my dad says, well, do you want me to go in with you when he gives you the shot? I'm like, no, I want you in here with me. I'm fine. So we go in there and he pulls out this ginormous needle. I swear to God, I never saw a needle this big in my life. It's huge. He gave me the shot.
Where?
In my butt.
Ouch.
In my butt. So we leave. As we're leaving, literally, I feel better instantly.
Wow.
So whatever he gave, I have no idea. I could never figure out what it was. But I went from being where my dad literally almost had to carry me into this doctor's office to I'm walking out, I'm totally fine.
Some sort of anti-nausea.
It was like magical. I was totally better.
I got food poisoning from my favorite restaurant.
We're not going to
That
name.
wasn't that
Whose
long
name
ago.
shall not
No,
be
and
named.
it was not long ago. I still would go back there and eat, but
Because you never know, really.
thought I was dying, like literally.
I heard that really is a deep sickness.
It
wanna rip.
is something like a horror story.
Right.
Like I thought I was dying.
Well, you
I did-
know,
I
Nana.
called you.
You
Yeah.
know, Nana.
Yeah.
Nana.
Words of wisdom.
Right.
by
Well,
Nana.
Nana was in Mexico also, and she couldn't. She literally got so sick for about 24 to 48 hours, but she too had to go all the way across the border. She thought she was going to die, but they said to her that salmonella poisoning is something that happens, quote unquote, in third world countries. This is not something that usually shows up just from a restaurant.
Right. What about you, Miss Terry? How's your week been?
I've had a great week. My life is pretty great.
Well, great. Tell us about it. Tell us about your week.
That's amazing.
My week, okay. My husband Mark and I, we live half the year in Arizona in Sun City. It's a 55 plus community. That's a blast.
Nice.
And then the other 6 months, we go north Georgia to Cartersville, and we're about 16 miles away from one of my sons and our four, and my daughter-in-law and his four boys. 12,
Dream
10,
team. Dream team.
12, 10, 8, and 6
Oh my goodness.
And they're all baseball players.
You are in hog heaven.
Yes. Generationally, I think they're fourth generation baseball heathers type
Oh, I
thing.
love it. Love
And
it.
so this weekend, Katie was gone, and Mark and I and Aaron did a divide and conquer. So Aaron was with Kipton, the 10-year-old, and Mark and I were with our 12-year-old, who ended up winning him and his team, but mostly him.
But of
And
course,
ended up winning the champion. Now they give the championship. They give these humongous rings and stuff. But we watched him play 4 games, but we ended up watching 7 games in 2 days because we happened to be there anyway. We were watching the in between games.
Wow.
So that was a blast.
That's so much.
exciting.
So was that different parks and everything?
Yeah, the 2 olders are on traveling teams.
Oh, they're
And-
travel ball.
Yeah, and they're really good at ball, and so we can get all over the place. We were at we were at Roswell one day, another day close by, but yeah, it was fun, and I just love watching those boys play.
Oh my gosh, I bet.
I could see that. Baseball's so fun to watch anyways.
It is, yes.
Well, she got to watch her boys play, and then now she gets to watch her boys play.
And their dad played, and then my
Right.
brothers played.
Oh heavens!
So I'm
I love that.
I'm a baseball diva.
queen. Yeah, right.
Generational baseball.
Yes.
I like it. What about you, Gina? How was your week, love?
My week was full of preparing for my mother-in-law to get here.
What are you talking about? Your house is magically perfect every time she comes.
so
It's true that
perfect.
when Terry's coming into town, though, it's like,
It's like a shit
The
show
world
in my
stops.
well,
life.
she's like, got to get ready.
gotta
She
get
talks
ready.
about it all the time. I mean, like, a
yeah.
exciting time.
Nobody has to. You don't have to work for that.
No, she's just
it's-
excited.
It's those dogs. No. So it's just pretty much been getting the house ready because it was in between stages because as you guys know that it's empty now.
So don't start crying, please. We've had enough of that.
So I switched around some rooms. So I moved the guest bedroom and then I moved my hat room and then
Wait. Did you say hat room?
Did she call it the hat
She
room?
did.
She labeled it the
it
hat
has
room.
my hats and it has it's
You
my
have
makeup
enough
room.
rooms to have a hat room?
Well,
You have enough
I am
hats to have-
an empty nester, and there's so many rooms in my house. I've got to think of something.
She has a whole nest
I
of
only have
hats.
a year and a half until I do that. So now I'm going to
Yes,
have, I
a
should
hat
prepare
room.
for a hat
I just
room.
have
Build a bigger house.
Yes, I bought hats when I was in Georgia.
Yes.
I recently bought a hat for the Kentucky Derby next year. I have hats. I love hats, so they're kind of in the wall in my makeup room.
Fair.
And then
it's a makeup / hat room.
It's her dressing room.
It's my dressing room, and
She's
then
like Paris Hilton. What is happening?
So what am I supposed to do with the empty room except for make it mine?
True.
right.
And then next to my bedroom is Gigi's room. So I made it into
Lucky.
a mermaid room.
Speaking of that, if you hear some pitter patter in the background, it's little Gigi.
It is my little
It's
granddaughter.
bring your granddaughter to podcast day.
Right. She's a Rooted Warriors mascot.
This is how we do it. Gigi, give us a shout out.
Say hi, Gigi.
Say hi.
Say hi.
She's shaking her head. No, people.
No,
She's
not
shy.
happening.
But if you
Okay.
hear the little pitter patter of baby feet, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That is
right.
what it is. And what about you,
Miss
Miss Mo?
Well, we're still waiting on Charlotte's arrival. She went from having some pressure pain to dropping to dilating a little bit to nada, nada, nada. So we go tomorrow, but he's already scheduled to induce her on Monday no matter what. So no matter what, we'll get induced on Monday.
Well, it's getting close.
It is. It is.
Is she
We're all ready.
totally prepared? Oh, she is then.
Oh, everyone is so ready. We're like, we're all done with it. Cause nowadays you find out so early when somebody is pregnant that it feels like a lot longer than 9 months, right?
Right.
What do you guys
Feels like
think?
forever.
Right?
It didn't seem like we had that much time when we were younger. It seems like they find out right away
They
now.
do.
Oh yeah, like the day after test.
Right.
Pregnant.
I know.
That's literally how it is.
Yeah.
Where, and then another thing is, we all forever, we based when our baby was going to be born, the due date on the first day of our last period. Right.
Right.
So I was like standing by that. Cause I was like, June 8th, that's the date. Like that's what the first day from the last period says. But they did that whole sonogram thing and that said the 24th.
Interesting.
So I would like to go on record that I was wrong.
Oh,
I can sleep better tonight. Thank you.
Can
Mom.
everybody sleep better?
it's a Kodak moment. Is that what you're
I'm
saying?
willing to say I was wrong.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Doctor knows best.
Yes.
Right.
Or baby does.
That's
I mean,
amazing.
it's for the it goes by measurement.
It does.
Right. So whatever she's measuring.
Right. And who knows? Maybe, consumption date is different. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
So true. So as you guys know, every week we do This Day in History. And Miss Teri, today is June 20th. And in 1975, the movie Jaws came out. It was directed by Steven Spielberg and it opened in theaters in the United States. And Jaws tells the fictional story of a great white shark that terrorized a New England beach resort town. So this was supposed to be a 65-day shooting schedule, but it ran over all the way to 157 days. It went from a $4 million budget to a $9 million budget.
Crazy.
Spielberg said that it was the hardest production I've ever worked on. I had nightmares about it for a lot of years.
And not because of the shark.
Right? Can you guys imagine? I mean, this is his business. This is his job. He's given a $4 million budget and he blows it by $5 million.
And I think something about the days, like they only gave him like 90 days and it took him like 160.
157. So it's like
so nuts.
literally crazy. Like as business owners, if we overshoot our budget by $5 million, can you imagine? I mean, by
more than twice, more than doubled.
More than doubled it. It's insane, and that had to be a lot of pressure on him. And thank God he made it. It's epic.
Is this one of his first films? Do you
know,
know?
I don't know.
I don't know about being
what
the
year was it,
first.
Monica?
1975.
It was filmed in the ocean, and I think it's the first film that was actually successfully filmed in the ocean that way. And then that whole "we're going to need a bigger boat" was totally ad-libbed. That was not a line that was actually in there. But I don't know about you. That movie pretty much shaped my childhood growing up. I knew not to swim in the shady end of the pool in my papa's pool. When we played mermaids, we stay out of the shady end.
Stay out of there.
Exactly.
I remember seeing that when it came out in a drive-in.
Do you really?
With my family.
Wow.
And
Tell us
when,
about it.
when that jaw, and he comes up and
Yeah.
I
Did he growl like that?
Oh no, more
I'm
like,
just kidding with you.
but I remember eating popcorn and just throwing it all over my parents' station wagon.
Oh my
It was
goodness.
that frightening, and all the other cars you could hear them scream. So it was
How
ethically
fun.
scary.
Who else misses the drive-in?
I loved the
I
drive.
loved it.
They have one in series.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that real talk?
Yeah. There's one in
Serious
Sacramento too.
I don't know if I'd be comfortable at a drive-in anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Maybe
would.
in the
I'm going to take
South.
Bob. We're going to go necking.
Yeah, right.
Bye, guys.
It doesn't
Back
matter
row.
what movie's playing.
Right? As my mother-in-law would say, she'd call it necking, Because if she was alive, she would be like 94, something like that.
Necking.
So they call
I
it
love it.
necking.
I got to say, what was this brings up worst fear type stuff. What's your
It does.
worst fear, Terry?
Yeah.
If this is sharks, like I have to say there's a shark out there with my name on it. I don't snorkel. I don't scuba dive. I love the beach, but
Yeah, one of my
No,
son,
ma'am.
my second son Aaron is deathly scared of sharks. He won't put his
See,
toe
Aaron
in
and
the ocean.
I were-
And I said, I don't understand that as a fear. You just don't get in the ocean. And then what about the shark repellent? Because remember when Batman used that? He was up in a helicopter, and a shark was grabbing Robin's leg.
No way.
Did he spray him, or was it like a
He
fog?
pulled out the shark repellent out of his bat belt and
that is
sprayed
so
the
cool.
shark.
No wonder why I love Batman.
No,
had
that's
the
not
shark
why I love
repellent.
Batman. I know why I like Batman.
Was it the Val Kilmer or the? I'm just joking.
All of them. Michael Keaton, all of them. I eat them all
Michael
alive.
Keaton was my favorite.
Oh my goodness.
What's your worst fear?
So I have a major fear of spiders. I have arachnophobia.
Do you?
I do. Funny, Mexico just keeps coming up. I don't know what's going on. I apologize. I literally only spent 2 weeks there in my entire life, but I went to my dad's childhood home. Well, not his childhood home, but the home that his mom was at. And I was sleeping on a bed in her room after a long journey there. And there was huge spiders the size of my hand on the wall. And she kept saying, no pica, no pica. I don't give a crap whether these things bite or not. They're out of here.
Yeah,
I was
right.
paralyzed. So my dad put, a bed in the middle of the room. And then he put a bed, what I thought was next to mine. And he slept on it so I could sleep that night. And by the way, I'm a 30-year-old woman, guys. Okay. I'm not a child, but
You mean at the time this is happening?
yeah. Because
Not
I'm a
right now.
30-year-old also.
Yeah, me too. I'll go ahead and claim that as well.
I identify as a 30-year-old.
I was like, me too.
This broad. So I wake up in the morning and I see that my dad's bed is actually just a table that he put a blanket on.
Oh.
Because there wasn't another bed. So he just slept on a table so that way I would feel safe.
So today we're talking about something that we keep talking about, which is empty nesting.
Yes.
Right. Or coming up on or
Yeah. Summer.
yeah.
Well, Monica was an empty nester before I was. Mine
I
just
was, which
happened.
is weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
well, and then you just attained empty nest just now.
Just like
oh my goodness.
3
This
weeks,
is going to get
5 days.
the holes
6
in the
hours.
wall. It's coming back.
And
Yeah,
assuming I make
52
it to
minutes.
graduation, I have maybe 1.5 to 2 years. So really, we're all
It goes
right
fast,
here.
darling.
Well, and you can feel teenagers kind of start pulling away. So
That's
You
for
feel
that's
it.
for both sides of us. We need that pull away.
I like that. Yeah, it's true. Maybe that's for a reason.
Yes.
Right.
So we're talking about empty nesting, open road, and a mother's journey to rediscovery. Because like last week, we talked about who am I?
Yeah.
Who are we when we're not actively mothering?
What do we do when we're not needed
Yeah.
right then and
Well,
there?
I feel like, then and there. I feel like all my kids need me. It's just,
Always.
it's quiet now. Like I was thinking about this last night that my daughter doesn't have to worry about me yelling at her anymore. Clean your room.
Or the other side is you don't have to worry about yelling at her.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you remember not being yelled at your mom for the first, like knowing that you weren't going to get yelled at again?
No.
I kind of remember that freedom being
I
like,
don't
I'm on my
really.
own now. And it's,
I mean, my own happened, quite. I mean, I ran away from home.
that's
so.
true. I guess it was more abruptly
Yeah.
at that time.
So Terry, what's the most unexpected journey you've embarked on since your nest became quiet?
Well, my life took a real sudden twist when I was in my late 40s. Shockingly leaving a long-term marriage. And at 49, really standing by myself and saying, what the heck? Because I really didn't know the basics, how to do insurance. And, I had to learn a lot on my own at 49. Both my boys had been married by then. So I really was just on my own. So I really did have the freedom to explore and to do unexpected things. Like I took salsa dancing. I ended up getting a promotion at my work where I directed 2 departments, which really pushed me. My director used to say, "Put on your big girl panties."
Yeah.
And that was really true. She really refined me because she let me be in the real world with some protection there. So the question again was...
That comes along also with empty nest. At this age.
Where was I going on that? About what I did when I became
Just an
50.
unexpected journey.
I had just such a beautiful, unexpected journey of growth.
Oh, that's nice.
And I feel like that Terry that was 49 is not the Terry that you're looking at 65 remotely.
That's what I want to hear.
Yes. And so it was, I would not, even though there was times I cried out to God. One time I was crying so hard, my brother and my sister-in-law physically held me between their arms. I would not undo any of that because of where I am at today. And I really like this Teri. She's imperfect, but I like the fact that she's imperfect.
Because she's a rooted warrior.
She's perfectly imperfect.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We'll get you our T-shirt.
Oh, yes.
Because we have one coming
I would
up.
love that.
Yeah.
So nowadays you have children that have children of their own. You're a
Yes.
grandma. And how many grandchildren do you have?
Well, I had 4. And then when I joined up and married Mark, he had 5. So collectively, we have 9.
Oh my goodness. And what's the age groups?
Our oldest just graduated from high school. Caleb is a fabulous young man, 18. And then Aaron's youngest is Huxon at 6.
Oh my goodness. That's
So
a
we have
nice big spread.
We have middle schoolers, high schoolers. We have twins in there. And so we have lots of exciting
Like
things.
across the board.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
what's some advice that you can give those of us that are becoming grandparents and those that are grandparents? What's some advice that you can give us as far as being connected and being involved in our grandchildren's lives? Bring them to work, perhaps.
I'm
would
staying
say-
connected.
Yes, we're connected to her.
I would say involve them as much as possible.
I would say be intentional.
Okay.
And by that, I mean that life goes so fast with our own children.
Yes.
I cannot tell you, it goes double fast for our grands. Wow. It's just unbelievably fast speed. And so when Aaron's boys, I'd come and visit, and then we started it with my grandchildren I inherited with Mark. We established Mimi dates. And that means we just took them one at a time.
You're a Mimi and she's going to be a mom.
Yes.
A
A
Momo.
Momo, or whatever they come up with,
Mimo.
right? We remember what did we decide?
You're a Mimo.
Whatever.
You're a
I'm a
Mima.
Mima.
You're a Mima.
And you're a Mimo.
A Mimo.
And I'm a Mimi.
Oh my God, we're just me's.
I love it.
So I would say be intentional with your little one.
Okay.
And really start those traditions really early. I remember flying in from Arizona to Ripon and taking Aaron's boys one at a time in strollers down to the bakery or down to that. What's the place we were looking at? And she said Big Fish. That place.
Oh, the Bass Pro Shop.
You don't have to spend money.
Yeah, just take them down there.
And because what they really want is time.
Experiences.
Yeah, and they really want time.
That's what we want too,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, and I tell you what a nurturing time that is.
Yeah. No, I look forward to that.
I love that. Well, watching your children become parents themselves I'm sure that's like super moving. Can you share a moment that filled your heart just to the brim, watching your boys go through whatever, whether it be a struggle or an accomplishment with their family?
Well, Adam doesn't have children.
Right.
So my experience was with Aaron, and he, the first year of Tegan's life, he was a stay-at-home dad.
Oh, wow.
And so he really bonded with Tegan in a really unique way. And I'm just so happy to watch him. When I go to the Little League games, I'm going back again to baseball like you're going to Mexico.
I don't know why I'm in Mexico. I'm sorry.
But I was texting my family, and I go, I'm here watching Kipton. And I sent them a picture. Then I'm also here watching Aaron. So Aaron's hitting the ball and coaching.
Right.
And I'm just really proud of the family he and Katie are raising.
That's awesome.
They really have it together. It's boy energy like crazy.
Is it wild?
Dream team.
Yes,
Dream team.
Right.
it's boy energy.
Yeah.
And
it's like
going in
to the wall
Yes.
all day.
And you think that how could 4 kids have such different personalities? So it's just really a joy to watch Aaron parent. And he's consistent. He's a good daddy.
Would you have guessed such a thing when he was younger? Or
I
is
would
this-
not have.
So this is such a cool thing
Yes,
to watch.
I would
then.
not have guessed that he would have loved fatherhood so much.
Oh, wow. That's just a neat thing to watch then. I love that. I love that. Well, what upcoming adventure makes your heart skip a beat just thinking about it?
Upcoming adventure for me?
Yeah, like, do you
my
have something
goodness,
coming
I'm
up that you're
living-
like,
I'm living it right now. We're going to the beach for 4 or 5 days.
Oh.
And we've rented a beach house with Adam and Gina, 2 of my brothers and their
Right.
wives, and 2 of my nephews. And my dear nephew is getting married. So our family and people from our lives are flying in to be together for 4 straight days.
oh, wow.
I'm jazzed about that.
Wow.
And then also, I'm very close to my family and my sisters in-law are my sisters. And we're going to go on a family cruise to Mexican Riviera in October.
That's going to be epic, isn't it?
Yeah, and guess who just joined us?
Who?
Adam.
I'm looking at her right now.
I heard somebody got a passport.
Yes, I did.
Now we know why.
So these two adventures are going to be with G.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So the last couple of weeks, we talked about generational wisdom and how important it is to remember things that are passed down and then us passing them down and things that are getting lost in all of that. Is there anything traditional that you've passed on to your boys that they have carried on with their families that you know of?
I don't know. I can't really say, except the fact that their dad and I were very hands-on parents, and that's how I see Aaron.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he understands that at 39.
So maybe unconsciously speaking, he's very hands-on
He's
also.
very hands-on. Particularly with their sports and being engaged and being a coach, and so. But yeah, with generational wisdom, I don't know when it's happening. If you realize you're imparting that.
Oh, what a great point. Yeah.
Because I look back at my sister tells me things. She's 5 years younger than me. And she tells me, oh, I remember when you did this? And I have no idea. And she says, do you remember when you said this to me? I don't remember that.
Right.
So
you
don't know what you're imparting. We all don't know what we're imparting.
Well,
Good
maybe
and
that
bad, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe the wisdom that we're saying isn't wisdom necessarily to us, but to the person receiving it. So we just don't see it that way
Yes.
at the time.
It's like a thought I have. And it
Right.
might be, and when you're in your 60s, I kind of wanted to talk on the trimesters.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, go
Could I
for
do
it.
that?
I piggyback this idea from an author named Richard Rohr from Falling Upwards, and he talked about life seasons. But I changed it a little bit for women. I see life as a pregnancy. Your first trimester is becoming. So during that time, we're becoming. We're learning to walk and talk and social graces. We're learning how to stand in lines at school. We're learning how to be mannered and read everything. Some people during this trimester will decide to go vocational, they'll go to college, they'll go in the military. And the trimesters aren't as predictable as like what your Katie's going through. Everyone is individual, how their life is folded into 3 parts.
Right.
This is all my theory.
I like it.
Okay, and so whatever you're doing, you're becoming. You're finding yourself. You're learning your voice. You're learning your.
So the
opinion.
lengths could be different.
It could be different. Somebody's an early bloomer. Some people are late bloomers. That first trimester might be 30 years for some people, and 17 for another. The next season, the next trimester is building. And I see this as a time that you're building. You're investing in your retirement. You're investing in businesses and relationships. During the season, people are getting married and building relationships, having children. And they're moving their house. They're just very busy building for the future, building for the now. Now, the trimester I'm in, I believe it's called bestowing. So I'm already become. I love this. I've already built, and now I'm bestowing. Not everybody gets to this 3rd trimester. God knows how many people I've lost before they've reached this trimester. Right. So I'm blessed. I'm so blessed. I wouldn't do it any other way. But during this season, I feel like, oh God, I am so blessed. I'm so rich. You have done so much in my life. I am awed by you. What is it that I can give out? And the definition of bestowing is giving, presenting, or gifting someone. So what it is at this time in my life, I have a quasi job, and I have we're at financial rest,
Right.
and I love my life. But it's like, what is it that you want to bestow? I mean, I pray that God would bring a young woman in my life, maybe where I live, that had a child that I could be like a Stan and Mimi. Oh. Or I've been praying specifically that Mark and I could build a community in Cartersville. And the other night there were 6 of us gathered to have pizza and play a game.
Oh, wow.
So when you pray specifically and have intentions like that bestowing phase of your life, that trimester is golden.
So is that like the living Christ magnified to you kind of thing? Just like listening for him to kind of guide
Yes,
you how
yes.
you can serve him the best.
And how can God deny those prayers?
Right.
And he's
exactly.
been faithful, because it's like, God, I just really want to see if I could have another daughter.
Right.
You know, and so I just want to see.
And of course you can't, but you can.
Yes.
Because
you
you-
can. You
Yeah.
can. You can have these
That's so
things.
cool.
So at this life, I feel like this final trimester of my life is, God, what can I do? Because you're not finished with me yet. When I first moved to Phoenix, I left a really high pressure job, and I told Mark, I want to work in a button factory. I don't want to do
Seriously,
reports.
right?
I don't want to supervise. I don't want to. I don't want to interview.
I don't want to be strong anymore.
I'm
like
tired
that.
of being strong.
Right.
I don't care that I have my own office. And I got this job with the CPA at the front desk, and I would cry because it was so boring. I'd go to work. Oh my gosh, I know I have 2 envelopes to type today. And I remember going home and crying with Mark. I go, I have so much more in me. I have so much.
You missed
I
the
can't work
challenge.
here. You know, so I really feel as long as we have breath and we're in our 3rd trimester, we must give out.
This trimester theory is phenomenal. That's why everyone is wondering why I have turned into Gina and I've said nothing.
This is generational
It's
wisdom.
because
right
I'm
here.
in awe. So that is such a fabulous way to put that, because we've all heard there's a
Yes.
season for everything. We all love the song.
Ecclesiastic says that. There's a season for everything. So remember, becoming, building, and then you get to bestow.
Yeah. I look forward to it.
What has been the most pleasurable for you? What has been the most awe-inspiring or profound out of all of them?
Out of
So far, your trimesters.
my trimester, well, God redeemed the years that the locusts have eaten. That was a promise God gave to me. And I prayed during the turbulent years that I would not be bitter. And I prayed and prayed, God, don't make me bitter, don't make me bitter. And he showed off and gave me such
He's
a
good like that,
fabulous
isn't he?
season. Mark is absolutely the world's best partner. And just the freedom I have to be me, and I feel comfortable being me. And there's a time in your life, perhaps in the building part, that you feel like I have to be perfect. I got to say the right things. I got to do the right things. I can't mess up. I have ADHD. It runs deep in my family.
Hey, welcome home.
You found your tribe. And so I couldn't figure out why my thoughts were so scattered. But it worked for me. So I would say that the thing is that I'm aware of the people that have been with me as I was becoming and I was building, and may always be thankful for them as I'm bestowing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, that is
I
powerful.
mean, we're just going to drop a mic. Like, we're
I know,
done.
just like, okay, episode
Show's
over.
over.
Let's go ahead and go to the outro. I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
so I'm going to go to the next question. So seeing our children in a new light can be transforming, right?
Yes.
And can you share maybe some recent moments that you've had with your children that offer you a new perspective? Because as they're getting older, they're giving us new perspectives
Yes.
that maybe we didn't see things that way.
Yes.
I know it happens to me all the time with my children. So can you give me a couple examples of that?
Let me think of that one. Well, I just think my boys are just fabulous, as you know. Did you see the halo come in when Adam walked in the room? And then
The light that encompassed him.
and then I was meeting new friends of Aaron's in Georgia, and I was on mid-sentence. I said, man, isn't he handsome? And Katie said to her friends, you know how Aaron has that attitude?
That's why.
Exhibit A.
Right? Because you're his biggest fan.
That's so
But
funny.
what is life transforming is that the second you give birth, you're preparing them to leave you. And I knew that
You don't even know that.
You don't know that. Somebody said it's like the slowest breakup on the planet.
Ma'am, you
Yes.
know, I sent you that.
Yeah.
That article,
yes.
Mia Friedman.
Yes, and when you have boys, I knew full well that I was raising men that would cleave to another woman that wouldn't be me.
So not only would he leave you, he would cheat on you.
Cheating sucker.
right in public.
I know, and not even care.
She's younger. She's better looking.
Better body.
But it when you walk with your men, I mean your Jeremiah's,
Yeah.
but how old is he? Mid-20s.
Yeah, he's going to be 22.
It's it's so neat to see.
Actually,
them.
wait, I lied. He's going to be 23. Sorry, Jeremiah.
Sorry, Mommy lost count.
He's a big boy.
Just watching your boys become men and finding joy in that. And I want to say, I have witnessed them go through major heartbreaks. That is sadder than any heartbreak I personally.
So did that bring out that wild animal in you?
Oh, sure does.
Can I go? No, I'm not kidding. I am so sweet, but you hurt my babies, man. That makes me mad.
Right? I'm coming from blood.
So that's been self-control on my part. But it is when you watch your children go through heartache, way more difficult.
100 times worse.
Anything that I've ever gone through personally.
Yes. Jeremiah recently had one, and it was very hard on
A breakup.
Yeah, it was really hard to see and be part of because you just want to help them. And, and you can't. You know,
can't.
They have to get through it on their own, and it's painful to see. And you just want your child to be happy.
And we know enough to know you will survive this heartache.
Sure, and that it was probably the best thing.
Right,
Yes.
right. It's like you want to support him at the same time. You almost want to side with him, be like, yeah, isn't she a jerk? But at the same time, you want to
you
do
don't
the
want to
right
add
kind
too
of
much
advice,
fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, got to walk that road gingerly.
Yeah, right. So obviously you and Mark are together. How long have you guys been married?
We've been married 11 years.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, we met in 2012.
Wow. So what are some things that you and Mark do together to keep you guys connected with one another?
Well, I am very fortunate to have a really great life partner, and we met each other in our early 50s. So both of us had been through our child rearing and failed relationships, and understood, and he was single and I was single, so both understanding that I did not want to be in a relationship unless it was going to up my life. And he felt the same way.
Right.
Because what would be the point? But we're very, like I'm using the word intentional again, we at least 2 or 3 times a week, we put it on the calendar. Tonight is happy hour. We don't have the TV on.
I love it.
We don't have we turn our phones completely off.
Yeah.
And we'll just sit there and talk and talk. And he will tell you that's the bedrock of our relationship.
I think that's good advice.
Yes,
I like that.
And just sit and talk to each other and look at each other's face.
It doesn't have to be something that costs a lot of money.
No.
Like you said, is the intentional.
Yes.
You know how you intently look at your phone and research something,
Yes.
you put so much effort into it. It's taking that energy and putting it in the other human that you're sharing that space with.
Exactly.
And that life with. And learning.
And understand that I have a partner that understands the value of that. Like yesterday, something really small was heavy on my heart. It didn't do with Mark, but I just feel like I want to talk about this right now. And he goes, what do you talk about? So we talked about it, and he gave me his perspective. And I'm not exaggerating. Within 15 seconds, that heaviness lifted.
Yeah.
And I said, thank you.
And feeling secure to do
Yes.
that with him without being judged.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a really important part of our relationship is talking.
And it's 3 because you're Christ-centered in your relationship. So it's like now he gave you that person to do this with, and look how strong you are and how quickly you get to overcome adversity because
instead of pushing it down, I was able to share it with my best friend.
I like that.
what you know what I mean? Who would have ever thought?
Yes,
you know what I mean? That's
exactly.
such a great relationship.
I love that. I love it. So all of us are either empty nesters or approaching emptiness. What's some advice that you would give us as we go into this stage of our life?
When they first leave, don't go into their rooms because that's really a cry
had
fest.
failed that last week.
man.
I'm talking.
She epically failed that last
Yeah,
week with the
she
holes in
did.
the wall. You remember, Gina?
Oh, she was
Well, it was
filling
like-
the holes in the wall.
crying so hard when Adam and Aaron went to college, like from the gut.
No, I'm doing that now. My boys haven't even totally left yet. It is guttural.
It's yes.
It really is. It's from
And you
this
kind of
deep part
share
your
them with
soul.
their dad.
I do.
Whereas Maddie, she's been mine.
Yes.
I don't share her with anybody.
Yes, but to have that long to yourself with that one person without the 50% of the influence from the other would be a gift. To me, having to share that with someone else and having to fight values and characters that 2 families trying to co-parent do is...
It's very stressful on a marriage to raise children.
Oh, my goodness, right?
And I can't imagine when you have stepchildren mixed in there and, have children. It's very stressful. And that's one thing Mark and I both agree on. We just met each other at a perfect season. We were really done with our parenting.
You didn't have to do the step parenting thing and try to blend. And
yes, we avoided the blending part. And
it's all about choosing your partner during that season.
100%.
It is.
Yes, to have the same visions.
So we were talking about aging as women.
Who was talking about that? It wasn't me.
No, we were
me.
talking about it last week.
Are you aging, Gina? I'm not having that problem.
Rose hip.
Yeah.
Rose hip.
Rose
Saw that golden rose hip.
She was bathing in it or some crap. I don't know.
Have you had aging moments where you've had to laugh out loud at yourself?
Yes.
Would you like to share? How many times today?
You know what? No, the thing is, your body betrays you.
Does it?
Okay.
Sometimes your mouth betrays you.
Yeah, always. My memory betrays me. And it's like every time I go to the doctor,
It's multiple times.
the doctor gives me a diagnosis for prefacing with, because of your age. Because of your age. Everything. I had a dry eye because of your age. Your back, scoliosis because of your age.
Everything was
I went to the gynecologist.
dry
This is
eye.
just girls, right? Mm-hmm. I had to get medicine because of my age. My clitoris was drying out.
Wait, what?
So that's a problem we have to deal with soon. Okay, noted. Thank you for telling us. We complain all the time that no one ever tells us these things. Here we are.
Oh my gosh! And we have a good sex life. I thought because it's
This
if you
is
don't.
so much info.
Sorry.
I love this. This is not a G-rated. We're going to talk
Warning,
about dryness
explicit content.
and sex. Okay, Miss Terry, go.
After my doctor's
turn
appointment,
it off.
after the doctor's appointment, I could only laugh, and I texted to my like-aged friends, and everybody was laughing with me. They said, "Oh gosh, wow, another thing."
Super.
And that just is cured by medicine?
It's medicine. It's an ointment.
Is there a natural medicine? Is there an alternative that maybe we can do
Well,
before?
I'll research and get back to you.
I'll let you know. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry.
awesome.
You can edit that out.
No, we're not going to edit that out. We're going to add to it.
Are you joking?
No
We
way.
have issues like that too. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about our issues, our dryness issues.
Look at this.
Gina's married. I mean, she's got like a younger man, like whatever. I figured it
I
out.
know, right?
I figured it out.
So, I know you're a tour guide.
Yes.
And it's something that you're so passionate
I
and
love my
so
job.
good at it.
Thank you.
So when we first started talking, hearing you talk about your career with that was so inspiring because I could hear the love. It doesn't seem like a job.
It doesn't, but it's the hardest job you'll ever love
Right.
because it has to appear that it's easy.
I see. So almost like a podcast.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
You have
It
to
appears easy.
yeah.
You're going to be talking in front of people, and I know it seems easy.
And then and then when I hear the finished product, it seems seamless. But I'm here watching your cuts and your
You
preparation.
guys are crap. You guys are crap.
Yeah, right. There's so much editing going on.
Wow. Thanks, Miss Terry. I'm glad we had you today.
I would love to touch on my job though.
Yeah, tell us all
good.
about it.
Because during one of your tours, have you ever come across a place or a story that like unexpectedly deepened your appreciation for your life or just really blew your mind with its history or its richness?
I'll give you a little bit of background. So I work for a Christian organization that we contract with schools. So my tours, I've been trained New York to Virginia, Nevada,
Wow.
Arizona, but my niche ended up being the fourth graders in California. So I'm teaching California history.
Fourth grade's fun.
Fourth grade is fun because they still are enchanted.
They're kids
yes,
still.
They're not too cool. And so you hit the floor running and you go all day. But my company does all the detailing, the reservations, and I've asked to be in place the day before, so I'm fresh. They send me there and pay me. I mean, so I'm really
Wow, that's a
I
great
have
job.
a great job. It's a lot of work. I'm poured out at the end, but I know why I'm poured out.
Right. Does it feel good? Because I got to imagine the way you deliver this type of information and getting those kids to be able to really kind of hold on to
Yes.
it is almost leaving a little legacy or like a little that wisdom behind
Yes.
that they can tap into. And to me, that's such a
it's such a
rewarding thing.
That's one thing, because my really good friend asked me if she was with me when I was doing my interviewing process, and I do immense studying. Like right now, I'm in a cohort group doing a college course on worldviews.
Wow.
And it's intense, because you've got to have this stuff in your brain, because we don't operate on scripts or note cards.
So everything is just impromptu or just...
Well, no, I know where I'm going and I know what I need to say, but we're not encouraged to look at note cards. So it's all coming from...
Good luck. I can't even find my keys, Miss Terry.
But
what's happening here?
Yeah, right. Just go ahead and talk about this,
I think
Terry.
this is
It's
great
fine.
though, because this is probably great for your memory.
And also,
Right.
it's
social
it's
situations
like for
too.
my bestowing trimester, I am operating so much in my giftings.
Right.
So the nurturing, the encouraging, the drama, the storytelling, the humor. I get to do this and get paid for it. And because my niche is fourth graders, they come on one parent to one child. So I'm also ministering to that parent.
Oh, that's
that.
fantastic.
And it is not unusual that every single time on that there is somebody crying to say goodbye. And I'm not boasting in myself. I'm boasting just in what God is able to do through my imperfections and through the gifts that he's given me.
Yeah.
And I was going to take this year off. I had knee surgery. I tell you, as soon as I was beginning to walk, I asked for some tours. I did 2.
Chomping at the bit.
I'm chopping at the bit. It's physical, because I do 5 to 10 miles a day walking.
That's
and
insane.
talking and listening.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So you touched on something. You said, the gifts that God gave you. So I know that there was a book like probably 20 years ago where they talked about the gifts that we have that God gave us. And I'd like to do a whole podcast on that.
Oh, excellent. I know the scripture.
Look, she's in it. Like I knew I could lure this woman with this, right?
100%.
No, but there's so much to say about that, because everyone has gifts.
Well, Romans 12:6, what's our gifting? And if it's serving, serve. If it's teaching, teach. If it's encouraging, contributing to the needs of others, showing mercy, showing love, do your gifts. And like my good friend was, when I was doing that, she's retired, she says, why is it that you want to do this? I said, because I still have it in me.
Right.
And if something is in you, as long as our heart is beating, we need to do it. Because if we don't do it, it's just excuse making.
And you have no idea what that other person has had or has not had, and how much they're just absorbing what it is you're giving, the love and the information and even the idea that maybe this is something that they can love too.
Yes, you just never know. But when you have a job at my age, that I'm still out there moving 5 miles a day, moving a busload. My buses can be as big as 656.
Oh my goodness.
And this year I was lead on 3 tours, on 3 bus moves. So we had like 110 people. And so you're moving about, but I work for an excellent company.
So for those that don't know what their gift is, because it's very it's a real thing that you
That's
may
a
not
good
know.
question.
How do they find out what their gift is that God gave them?
I was told once by a women's director at Big Valley when I was on the women's ministry board, when you are doing something and you leave exhausted, that's not your gifting. Yeah. If you're doing something and afterwards, even though you're tired, you're fulfilled. And that's how you can tell the difference.
Oh, wow.
What do you think is your gift?
That's a great question. I honestly don't know what my gift is. I really don't know.
I can guess administration.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, that would make sense. Yeah.
So what would that mean for her in the
How do I
terms of
spread
God?
that?
Like what would administration look like for someone? Obviously like to love or to nurture. We know what that looks like, but what does that word mean to someone?
Administration is because you have the gifting to lead.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't have to be in a paid capacity,
Yes.
but look at your tribe.
Right.
And also, when you are leading, as you have the gift of administration, all your employees are watching you. That's your territory.
So she can perfect that craft then.
Or walk in joy with it instead of denying and being falsely humble about it. I mean, you don't want to be braggy.
Who loves Terry? Jeez. Right? You're like rocking my world over here. Like sometimes it becomes a burden, right? Like if
You're
that's,
gifted?
yeah, right?
Yeah.
So especially when you look at it from a work perspective,
Yes.
where if you look at it like, how can I help to lead people to Christ or to help grow the Christ community? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool.
I want to.
It's
I
like
want to. If I can touch
Yes,
on
ma'am.
something that has just really been laid on my heart is 1 Chronicles 4:10, prayer of Jabez. And, oh Lord, that you would bless me and expand my territory. Please be with me in all that I do. Keep me from evil, trouble, and pain. What is your territory, Monica?
I don't know.
It's
my territory?
Terry, tell me, sister. So I don't believe territory means I'm going to get more acreage. That I'm going to get a big
Agreed.
diamond.
Agreed.
Because I don't care.
Right.
My territory is the people who God puts in my life for me to nurture, influence, encourage, and love.
Yeah.
And I
Spread your
pray
light
that
too,
God,
right?
no matter.
I love this woman.
I know, right?
You're the luckiest person
the luckiest girl ever.
Whatever. You could marry Adam just based on this.
Take her home. Sorry, Miss Terry, go ahead.
No, so we're on earth to make that contribution. Our territory. What is my territory? And so when I was building, I didn't know that as a 20, 30, young 40-year-old.
Right.
That I was building a territory. I was feeding into my sons. I was feeding into their friends.
Right.
I love my nieces and nephews like you don't know, like fierce love for these people. And then as a result of that, I have nieces and nephews who don't share any blood with me, that they're full adults now and say, hi, Auntie. Hi, Auntie.
Yeah.
And they only recognize me as somebody who has fed into their life.
You reap what you sow, right?
Yeah, and then I met with my niece, Kelly. She happened to come to Arizona from Colorado and met me for lunch. And I'm thinking, how wonderful is this? I get to have this lunch. And then I'm humbled by the fact that she was telling me, you've been such an influence to not only your own nieces, but to these other girls who call you Auntie.
Yeah.
And I'm not boasting in myself. I'm just boasting.
That's not boasting,
No,
love.
when I was building.
No, it's testimony though, and
Yeah.
you're sharing what someone else could do
Yes.
in their own life.
And it wasn't that I knew that when I was in my building stage. But I'm so glad that I have the capacity to love and say, okay, you're not really my niece, but come and be my niece.
Well,
Yeah.
and when I met you, it was sort of like that. Terry's energy is like that. She draws you in, she nurtures you, she supports you, and immediately you know it stems purely from the light of love, and God is love.
Thank
so,
you.
and she makes it super clear. 100%. And Gina, when and nobody really knows this, I guess, on here, and I'll just go ahead and say it, but Terry and I knew each other first. I had known her son.
That's right.
But if I could have pulled Terry into my family, I would have somehow. And somehow she became a part of my family through my sister-in-law. It's the most bizarre thing.
Isn't that wild?
And you and I have talked about
Yes.
it, how it came full circle like that. And
yes. See how God is always at work.
yeah, it's like he
Yes.
knew it was a good
Yes.
team. Like
So
this
you're-
is going to be a good
So
team.
you don't understand as you're becoming and as you're building. But when you're bestowing, it's the lights go off.
Yeah.
So I know you're not a fortune teller, but I'm going to go ahead and ask you, what's Gina's gift? And then what's my gift? Could you please help us?
I know what Gina's gift is. Her gift is compassion and mercy. And she has such a servant heart.
Yes.
So serving. I love G.
She's special beyond.
And yours is joy, my dear.
That's a thing?
Yes.
That's a thing. I thought love was. Are we drinking for love?
Everybody drunk on Andy's love.
Everyone's
again.
drunk on
And
Andy's
joy
love.
now, apparently.
I love this. All right. So, as you all know, our podcast listeners, my amazing family out there, we always do a Get Smart. And we decided to elect Miss Terry to do our Get Smart. So, Miss Terry, what is our Get Smart today?
I'm so excited.
I was excited to do this research on the friendships of women.
So perfect.
Science has confirmed that healthy friendships of women increase our oxytocin and our serotonin level
Just by having friends?
by having healthy friends.
And there's a big definition
Wow.
there.
You're right.
Yeah, really cling to that because not everybody who comes to you as a friend is a friend.
True.
And
Right.
that's one. And so oxytocin is the hormone for the love hormone, the trusting. It comes alive when we give childbirth, the connecting. And the serotonin is the mood and well-being and the sleep. So all of this is linked to good health and success in business and longevity, proving the fact that women need women.
Absolutely. Just
Absolutely.
like men need men.
Yes, we integrate our friendships into our lives as deeper than a man does, and this is general.
Sure.
And we connect to our girlfriends like a sibling versus a man connects to his buddies as a cousin.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh,
Yes.
I see.
I can see
And
that.
it's just it's a different level.
So it's a deeper bond.
deeper bond.
Do they kiss their cousins?
Right. Maybe not the kind of kissing cousins.
Wrong question. Sorry.
Wrong episode.
Next topic.
Next topic.
So we provide a space of for women, for each other to embrace our friendships, our femininity without
we?
judgment,
Right.
and empower each other. And I just know through my becoming and my building stage, I have the most amazing sibling unit. And I have one biological sister, but I have 4 sisters because my brothers all married wonderful women, and we even do sisters trips together.
I love it.
And I'm talking about they have seen me do the ugly cry. I've heard them do the ugly cry. And I just could not imagine my life without the women in my life. When we first moved to Ripon in 1988, I told God, I do not need a big group of people. I've never been a big clique person.
Yeah.
Just give me one friend. I met my dear friend Lori in 1988. So we have just celebrated our 36th year of friendship.
Do you hear that? She celebrated. Did you guys
celebrated.
hear that? Gina, why don't we have a celebration?
I told you
what's your anniversary?
we need to have a friend anniversary.
We need a friend anniversary.
Because I think we've been friends about
About that long.
35 years.
And we acknowledge the fact that we saw each other through all these phases as, mothers, and her boys are my boys' ages, and we raised them here. We cried together as they went away to
Right.
college. So I just cherish her so much. And then I have another friend that's over 40 years. And what would I do without my women friends?
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do without my women friends. And studies shows that the average women friendship lasts 16 years versus the average romantic relationship is 10
We're loyal.
Wow.
or less.
Women are loyal.
Yes, yes.
Right.
And it's just interesting how we need to connect. Like I can go on a trip and talk to my friend, or and you talk about you go to a retreat and you just dig deep with somebody, and if I'm not connecting with somebody, I feel like it's a waste of time.
Isn't
Yeah.
at this point in
Yeah.
life,
It's
especially,
empty.
right?
Yeah,
I don't want friends that are just
Yeah,
surface
It's
friends.
a waste of their time also. It's just a waste of time in general.
I'm not trying to fill my time.
And then Mark, we only have so much time.
Yeah,
I'm on borrowed time.
And then Mark has this group of, for decades, he's played the strat game, and they meet face to face on that. They go to, Missy's been to Philadelphia and Las Vegas and Los Angeles. He's known these guys for not centuries, decades.
How old is Mark?
But they don't talk. Like I
Right.
said, so how's so and so doing?
They don't say anything.
They just sit
Miss
there?
Terry, this is the thing I've been talking about forever. So Bob or whoever, they'll go on a trip with a guy,
And
they'll go for 2 days. I'll be like, "Hey, how's Mike and his wife doing?"
We didn't.
I have no idea. We didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
What do you mean to talk about it? As women on the drive to Pleasanton, we already know everything.
Yes.
Right? And we've bonded about it, and we've given her great sound advice. And that's the difference. So what you're saying about good friends?
Yes.
Good friends don't destroy your marriage.
Yes, exactly.
This is something that needs to be said right here and right now.
Yes.
So obviously there's
Exactly.
times that maybe we're in a bad relationship. Okay. And I think that there's definitely people here that have been in
Yes.
bad relationships.
Yes. Of course.
Where sound advice is good. But it is not the job of your friend to destroy your marriage with your man.
Never.
And that needs to be said here and now.
Yes.
Women, quit destroying the marriages of other women.
That's jealousy.
It is jealousy at
Are
its
you
roots.
talking about when they try to come in and pit you against your husband
Yes, ma'am.
so they can have you to yourself?
I don't
Yeah.
want to be with my friend and talk shit about my husband. I want to go to my friend for sound advice.
Exactly.
Sound advice. Tell me, Gina, me and Gina, we just had a therapy session. Tell me
Yep,
about it, right?
yesterday.
So it's a sounding board.
Yes.
That woman is there as a sounding board for you to give you good, solid, godly
Yes.
feedback.
Yes. Right.
She needs to say, I hear you. I understand.
Gently guiding.
Exactly. Maybe you should look at it from his perspective. This is probably what he is going through. I don't want to speak for him, but think about it from his side. That is a friend, ladies. A friend does not tell you your husband's a piece of shit. He doesn't deserve
know.
You
you.
should go out with me
Exactly.
tonight.
You should go out with me. We're going to
drink
party and hook up with other guys.
Yeah.
That
Right.
broad is not a friend, ladies.
Unfriend her.
Unfriend her, unfollow her. She's out.
Yes.
Off the list.
Friends are and real friends. You should know I go through it. You should know what a real friend is.
Y'all know what a real friend is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a real friend's got your back, and she's going to tell you the ugly truth.
Yes.
She's going to be like, proceed with caution, be careful, guard your heart.
Yes.
Either way, I support you. I love.
And that's how my little lady tribe
That's
works.
how it should be. That's exactly
Well,
how
a
it
lot of
should
people
be.
think being a good friend is supporting that person in everything that they do, when in reality, sometimes being a good friend is listening to them talk about that, and then maybe bouncing those ideas off of each other where they can hear themselves say it and reevaluate their thoughts on it. And it doesn't mean you just agree with them and you lead them down a
100%.
wrong road.
And it's also not your life. And that's a big thing that women need to grasp, is that it's not your life. It's not your walk. And it's just like we said with our children. Like sometimes I was talking with my friend Karina a while back. Shout out Karina.
What up, Karina?
And we were saying how, she's like, I have no idea who Karina
I don't know
is.
who you're going to, but hi.
But hey, what's up? But we were talking about how when our kids are in a relationship, we think we know everything. We think that, that person's not really a good match for them. I'm not really sure. I'm worried about this or that. We have to believe that we raised our child right and that they are seeking their soulmate. They're seeking the right person. We have to have faith that they're going to make their choices, and we need to support that, right? It's not our life.
It's not
It's
our
not
life,
our journey.
But I tell you, that's a challenge.
It
That's
is a
a
challenge.
gently guide
I
thing.
feel like I have finally, I reached that a while back.
Yes.
And I've embraced it. And I find freedom in that because I'm no longer, as somebody who is a natural leader, a natural alpha, I'm no longer controlling it.
you can't control
and I
it
don't
for
want
sure.
to.
Isn't there there's
It's a
freedom in that release.
And it's like, you know what? I believe in you and I believe that you're making the right choice for you in your life. And it's amazing. And it's made my relationship with their significant other so much better.
Okay, advice on the significant other. Somebody told me this when I was in my building phase.
Talk to us.
She says, oh, you have 2 boys. I go, yeah. She goes, don't ever make the mistake of making your son choose between you and his girl.
Never.
He will make a choice.
And it won't be you. Yep. Glean, ladies, glean. This is facts.
Yeah.
This is so great. So true.
So Nana says, Mom, if you're out there, one of the things she said to me was, also, it goes vice versa. You never get in between a man and his mother.
Oh.
That is dangerous every single time. Because even if he chooses you, which you just said he would,
He'll resent you.
he will resent you forever. It will never, ever be the same.
Yes.
It's power when you can bond together.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest
And
point.
and at the end of the day, the woman is the gatekeeper
Yes.
of the grandchildren, the son. We all understand this.
Yes.
I have a son, I have a daughter. I have 2 daughters. And I understand that the
The dynamics are completely different,
wife
aren't they?
is the gatekeeper.
Yes.
And it's totally different dynamics. And that being said, I want to bond with whoever Jeremiah ends up marrying and being close with. And I want to have a great relationship with her. And I want to see my grandchildren. And I will respect that on a whole
Yes.
different level.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
And Gina knows that. She has 3 sons.
And she experiences it
I
firsthand.
have 2 daughter-in-laws.
Yeah, she
well,
does.
I have 2 daughter-in-laws, and then Xavier has a Sophie,
Right.
Yeah.
and they're just kind of at the beginning stages. But I love my daughter-in-laws.
Yeah.
You know?
You can gently guide you, but you do have to be respectfully only when you're asked. You know what I mean?
I'm-
you
I'm-
can't
yes.
just intervene.
And they have mothers.
Yes.
And the thing is, we don't want our daughter's mother-in-law taking over our role as
No,
mothers.
no.
Right? So we need to have that same respect
Right.
for our daughter-in-laws
Yes.
and their mother.
Yes.
And it's a tough thing. It's a balance that we learn as we get older here in our children age.
I just was reminded of a memory. I was here in Ripon visiting when Aaron and Katie lived here. And they would the boys were put to bed and they were telling me this story about some conflicts they were having, not between themselves, but in another with something else. And after they were done, I just sat there. I said, "Are you asking me my opinion?" And Aaron goes, "That's why we just sat and explained the whole thing to you." I go, "Oh, you want my opinion?"
I didn't even know.
I thought I was supposed to be quiet.
I'll take
Let me
it.
talk.
But I was like shocked. It was a mother moment,
Yeah,
a
that's
golden
great.
mother moment.
Well, first of all, kudos to you for keeping your mouth shut
Yes.
until you were asked to speak.
That's
Right?
hard.
That's something that
hard.
Every woman can understand that it's hard to keep your mouth shut.
Yes.
Well, most of the time we're just signaling warnings. Wait, like we just don't want you to hurt yourself. You know what I mean? Like that's usually what it is. So we just got to kind of.
I have a really good relationship with Ashley.
You really
know, and I feel like she feels free enough to come to me and talk to me. I know, her relationship with her mother is different, so I think that she feels, at ease coming and talking to me about things. So I don't know. Lily's a little different. She's more, what would the right word be?
But both girls have never ever tried to take your boys away.
No,
in some
she's
way.
more reserved though.
She
right?
is more
Yeah.
reserved.
Who, Lily?
Yeah, a little bit more when it comes to like personal things. She's a little more reserved, and she lives a little ways away from her mom, so she's doing this whole pregnancy thing kind of, on her own. I don't know.
I'm excited for Lily and Anthony and the way that they raise their baby.
Yeah.
They're going to really,
The little
really
hippity dippity.
They really are. That baby's going to be an adventure wanderlust, like experiencing broad palate.
Can't wait
Just
to meet
traveler.
her.
Yeah.
So every week we do our do better, Miss
Okay.
Terry. So we'd like to start with you, if that's okay.
Yes.
What is your do better for this week?
My do better for this week. To enjoy and live in the moment more, because I know that I'm going into a situation that it's going to be a love fest for me. That I enjoy every hug and every dance and every toast this weekend.
Every dance. Is there going to be a lot of dancing?
Oh, you kidding, Wyman's? Wyman's dance. It's in our DNA.
Friend, I'm Filipino also.
Oh, I didn't
My
know
last
that.
name is Albalos.
Oh, and
I can
Filipinos-
relate.
I'm half Filipino.
And you know what?
Adam and I both are half Filipino, half European.
No, he's
Isn't he?
I'm half Filipino.
Oh,
So he's a quarter.
He's a quarter.
So he's like my boys. He says half. He tells me half. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
The point
matter.
is, she just got through telling me about your family, how amazing their energy is.
Oh, it's wild.
She just said
But
that
there's
it's,
so much love there. I mean,
That's what she said. So
My
it was
brothers
incredible.
and sisters, what they did to help raise my boys, and what I've done. I mean, how I'm so close to my nieces and nephews. So Tina's going to get to meet everybody.
How exciting.
Well, already who she's met so far, she said was over the top, just happy and compassionate and bring people in and spirited. And I don't know. It sounds
The
fun.
one thing I love about Adam is since day one, he's never introduced me to one single person that wasn't amazing.
Yeah.
Well, their energy. He's an energy
surrounds
seeker.
himself with the most amazing people. His family is huge and a big part of that, but just
Everyone.
everyone.
Well, she goes,
He
you know,
surrounds
Adam?
himself.
I said, yeah. And she goes, like that, except more, like even more. It's like everyone. Everyone's like that.
Can I tell you a story about a wedding?
Please.
In 2018,
Please
we
tell
had a
us.
destination wedding for Gabby, who's the sister of the groom coming up. And I never got off the dance floor. Mark was bringing me something to drink. My nephews were feeding me cake. Because I
love it.
That's the life
I
right
do
there.
not have time to sit in a food line. So
No, there's
bring it to
dancing
me.
to do.
Now, the very last song of the night was "I've Had the Time of My Life."
Oh, such a great song.
love
man.
this story.
Did you reenact it? Everything? You look at her face. She reenacted it.
The time of my
And as that song was going,
I saw the pictures.
my honey went on one knee and nodded to me.
No, you're lying.
Dirty
I-
dancing
you-
all day
yeah,
long.
yeah,
Patrick
yeah.
Swayze.
I parted the crowd.
I love this.
I ran my body full steam.
No, you did not.
Until
Francis
Patrick
Houseman,
Swayze.
straight to-
He went on the floor. It was
There's
beautiful. He was
pictures.
walking to the bus, and one of my nephews says, "Auntie, he didn't try hard enough."
He didn't give it his all.
And then the next day,
That is
my
hilarious.
sister, who's a runner, says, "Mark, are we still going to run today?" He goes, "Hell no."
Poor
He's over there.
Mark.
He went to the doctor and told the doctor he goes,
To the ER.
You had to go to the doctor.
he had a concussion. He had to check his leg.
He's the one that bowed down to give you,
You know
the
what?
okay.
Yeah, I think first of all, my brother and sister who were hosting the wedding, that's a legal issue. You don't have that song at the end of a wedding.
You're just asking
You're
for
asking
a liability.
for an issue. And then Mark went to the doctor. They said, "Do you have this on tape?" So
excuse me, sir. Please explain
About
what
2
happened.
months later, my niece said, "So, Auntie, ... we got some wedding pictures. ... There's us on the ground. It looked like Robert Kennedy when he was shot, and Ethel was over him. But instead of sobbing, I'm busting
Laughing.
my butt. I can't breathe because
You're
I'm laughing so
laughing.
hard. One of my niece picks me up. My brother Billy picks Mark up. Mark gets up like this.
Swooning.
So, due to several factors, we did not practice.
Right.
He
Note
weighs
to
less
self.
than me.
That's a party hazard right there.
And really, I wasn't prepared.
You know what I love though is that you and he both matched each other's energy. You were invested.
I was invested.
You guys were
You guys-
going for it.
I mean, but why did I have to go like I was sprinting at an Olympic event?
Because you were Frances Houseman from Dirty Dancing.
I'll send
Baby
girl.
girl.
I'll text you pictures.
So
I'll put them on the website.
What about
to wrap that up, Terry's do better is to be in the moment.
and we have promised everyone we are not doing a Dirty Dancing lift. No matter how much they egg us on.
In the water, I want to see it. I'll pay to see the
so
dirty
this
dancing
is how the
lift.
family is for Terry's mother's 90th birthday. They did and it wasn't impromptu. What did you guys do?
One of my nieces
A dance.
choreographed dances.
Wow.
So the first one was set to Elvis Presley. It was me and my 4 siblings. Then the next one was set to, I can't remember that one. Then our spouses joined us. Then the third
Did you
segment.
just say you want to be more present in the moment? I would love to see what that looks like.
It was like a flash
but
mob.
the last dance was a blast because all the nieces and nephews joined it. So my mom's grandkids and great grandkids were on the
That's
dance
super
floor.
cool.
All
Are
doing
you
the same.
Everybody dancing, choreographed.
That is heaven.
love
You,
Yes.
I better have video of you. And I want to see her
better
fully
be.
I
invested. Fully invested.
So, Miss Andy, what is your do better?
Well, those were some big shoes to fill.
Good
I
luck.
sort of want to be Terry when I grow up.
No, we all do. We all want to be Terry.
So to this week, I think I'm going to try to act like Terry. No. I think I need to relax.
Good.
I need to take it down a couple notches.
Good.
I need to only control what I can control and truly believe that and embrace it and be okay with it and soar because of it. You know what I mean?
like that.
Not just feel like I'm having to do something. I'm just going to do it and just allow it to happen and just see what good comes from it versus reluctantly. I think that's been the problem so far is reluctantly kind of releasing control and just not having the power to be able to be the person that makes certain decisions anymore. And really rock on. I mean, that's awesome.
Yes.
If you
What a
really think
freedom.
about it,
What a
seriously, it is a freedom. And along with it comes heartache. But the freedom in it is that we get to now start this new path. And so that's it. As I'm just going to relax
I love
and let it happen.
I like that a lot.
What about you, Mo?
Well, I have so much to do better. We always say that Mo never does her do better, right?
No,
Mo,
you do.
Mo really doesn't, but Mo does really try to see that I'm failing in my do betters and try to continuously do better. This week has been very eye-opening for me in a lot of ways. And, I'm going to let go. I think that's the best way to put it.
Me too, Mo.
I like
I'll let go
that.
with you. That's part of it, right?
Yeah. I'm going to let go and let things be the way that they are.
Relax.
It's kind of like the last week in my serenity prayer. Like there's things that I can't change and I just need to be okay with the things that are so out of my control. And I think as mothers, we want to control everything,
Well, we've always been in control and
Yeah.
it's laid on us, like
And
whether we want it or not.
And it's not really, it doesn't have anything to do with like oh, I want to control every single thing and every aspect. It's just like, I live in a really small town. I hear sirens. I check everybody's location. I'm freaking out. Like if my kids are sick or if something's happening, or, Lily yesterday went to the doctor. She said, oh, weird. The baby's only measuring 27 weeks when I'm almost 30 weeks. And I want to control that. I want to fix that.
Right.
Like, nobody worry, nobody this, and it's hard, but I think it does go back to, we're only in control of ourselves and how we react to things, right?
Exactly.
And that's it. And that's just part of letting go. And there's peace in that. And that's what I've found through the week.
And knowing
is
who's
just
in
having
charge.
Peace.
Who's in charge? Who are you giving it to?
Yeah.
It's like,
Exactly.
And I'm glad
No
that
one better.
your do better this week doesn't have anything to do with cussing.
I know, right?
I mean,
It's like
it's
you're-
forever. That is
Right.
forever my do better.
Right.
It's like, right.
Okay, like let's
Exactly.
be real. And we said we were going to do the drinking game this week, but we decided Miss Terry was here. So out of respect for Miss Terry,
She'd be laying on the floor
we're gonna
right
take
now.
that to next week, and it's just going to be the total drinking
then I can't
game.
wait to hear that.
It's
Yeah.
going to be
The
hilarious.
drunking?
It's
Well,
go-
so it's a drinking game,
Okay.
and it
called it the drunk game, which might be better. It might be a better name.
I called it the Can You Relate game because
That sounds enticing.
Andy relating, because she's a relator, so she relates.
She's a
to
lover.
lot. She's a
And
lover,
she's a lover.
and a relator and a lover. So we were like, let's get drunk on Andy's love.
Every time,
And then-
basically, every time I was to relate or say I love something, they were going to drink,
Yes.
which was going to cause two very drunk hostesses out of the three.
And then every time I cuss,
so we had to
were gonna
have
drink.
drink.
Oh my
goodness.
And then every time Gina silences out,
Oh my goodness.
we have to drink.
We need
We're
a
going to
dis-
be trashed
We need a
by like
designated
20 minutes
driver.
into this.
Yes.
Yeah, we're excited.
We're all
excited.
over it
We'll
now.
have
Our husbands will
designated
be taking us
drivers.
home. It's no
Yes,
big
it'll
deal.
be
It's
fine.
cool. So, as you know, we do pop quiz not every week, but we do it once in a
Do
while.
I not get to be better this week?
Oh, you're so perfect, sweetie. You just ruined my do better.
No
because
do better
I said,
for
oh,
you.
shit. Okay, what's your do better? Sorry about that. You two get to. I thought you did it. I don't know. I got lost.
You have enough challenges.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
I'm silent over here.
Silent.
Oh God.
Drink.
What's your do better?
I'm really excited about my vacation. So my do better is to unplug and to really, I think what I admire a lot about Adam and about Terry, and it seems the whole family, is he's about the moments. There's something so freeing about him and how he chooses to look at things. And it's always upbeat, it's always the up then the down. And I would really like to see myself at this wedding and not care what I look like to somebody else or how I'm feeling or being insecure. I just want like my toes in the sand and just to be free, and living in each moment, in each memory, because it does go by so fast.
It goes so fast.
For us. And in the end, I think that's literally what you take with your soul, is just like these little tidbits and little pictures and memories, and all those small things that we think matter so much. My hair is
don't.
not right, or the shoes don't match, or
Or you're
what I look
uncomfortable
like.
for some reason, or
Yeah.
whatever the.
Like I
it
want
may
to be
be.
so free that
Yeah.
those aren't thoughts.
I love
know.
that, G.
Yeah.
I love that.
I can't wait to hear you
I
report
don't know
back.
who that person is or what
right?
that's going to look like for me, because I've never done it.
Well, I look
ever.
forward to hearing that
Me
it happens.
too.
So
That's going to
yeah.
be so great.
That's going to be
and not
do
a better family to do it with as far as
Yeah.
culture is concerned and things like that. They're definitely going to bring it out in you for sure. Yeah, the Filipinos. Leave it to the Filipinos. For sure.
I love it.
So yeah, there we go.
I love it. So, pop quiz time.
Okay.
So, first question: how many stripes are there in the United States flag?
48.
13.
Are you naming the states?
I don't know. Oh, no, there's 52.
I don't know what's happening.
17.
You got
13?
right. 13. And what do you say?
I'll agree with her. It's 13.
No, I will relate with her.
I love her, and so I relate to her.
Fun fact, they represent the 13
Yeah.
original
Colonies.
That is correct. It is
Colonies.
13. Way to hitch your wagon to the right horse.
I know, right? Well, you asked. I told you I'm going to be her when I grow up. So my
Okay.
answer is her answer.
What country has the most islands in the world?
The Philippines.
Philippines.
That's a great
I think it's
that's a
I
great
don't
answer.
know.
I would stand by that, but it's wrong. Sweden. They have over 220,000 islands.
Are they even near the ocean?
I have no idea. Right? I mean, Google told
Who would
me.
have ever thought that? That wasn't even on my radar.
Wasn't even on my radar.
No.
No way. I was like, Japan? I don't know. I have no idea.
Like North.
I'm just telling you, it says Sweden. I mean, tell us if we're wrong.
This
Tell
will be
us
the
if
last
Google's
time
wrong.
we have any geographical questions on the pop quiz.
Okay, the next one is, and I know this because I watched the movie. Who invented the iconic little black dress?
Oh my gosh, Marilyn Monroe.
Coco Chanel
I would then mind Jackie
in the
Kennedy was my next one.
1920s. So I watched that movie. Obviously, nobody here has watched the movie about Coco Chanel, right?
No.
Okay.
The one with Lady Gaga.
So I don't know who the actress is, to be honest. It was a crap movie.
Oh, man.
I was not into it. I was really excited about it because Coco Chanel.
Is
I
your
wear
signature perfume.
It's
It
my
is,
signature
right? You've
perfume.
talked about it before.
Yeah, so that's my like going out with Bob perfume. That's like if it's gonna be a nice. That's my perfume. So you know
Daddy
I'm going
knows what's happening.
Papa knows.
Do I smell something?
That daddy
It's
does
God's
what
wish.
Anyway, so I was disappointed in the movie. I found her to be boring.
Oh, wow. What a disappointment.
So that was kind of sad. Maybe it was just the movie's interpretation. So
Right.
okay, next question. How many keys does a classic piano have?
Okay, Gina, go ahead. I'm just joking.
48.
You're up.
7,448.
48.
72.
It's a good answer.
64.
And 93.
Okay. It's 88.
I was closer, but I went
It was
over.
between-
On Price is Right, you would have won.
Price is right. So that's our pop quiz.
And there it is, my rooted warriors, the true spirit of this exhilarating chapter we're navigating together. Remember, an empty nest doesn't mean an empty heart. It's a blank canvas, eager for new colors, new dreams, and daring adventures. It's your moment to shine, to explore passions you've shelved for years, and discover aspects of yourself you never knew existed. Charge into this era with hearts blazing and spirits soaring. Let's make every moment count and every dream a reality.
All right, that's a wrap on today's dive into the thrilling next chapters of our life. If today's talks got you fired up, I want to see that energy in action. Hit us up with your next stories and your triumphs, even those stumbles along the way. Drop a comment, shoot us a message, or just spread the word by sharing this episode. Let's keep this community thriving and connected. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button and stay on the front lines with us each and every week. We've got plenty more where that came from, and you don't want to miss a single beat. Until next time, keep pushing, keep thriving, and remember, in this tribe, we don't just face challenges, we conquer them, ladies. Woo-hoo. This is Mo signing off. Stay fierce, stay fearless, and until next time, let's take this to the next level. Feel blessed, be blessed. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
The other night when I lay sleeping, I dreamt I held you in my arms.
I don't know the rest of
When I
them.
woke up, I was mistaken, and I hung my head and I cried.
Oh,
I know, but that's part of the song.
I didn't know that.